AITA for leaving my sister's wedding, but keeping the bribe I was paid to attend. My brother is an asshole and has made my life hell since I can remember. I gray rocked him SCCU as I understood the concept and have been NC with him since he moved out of my parents' house. My sister was getting married. I checked to see if he was invited. He was. I RSVP'd my regrets. My sister and parents came by to talk me into attending. I said, fuck no. They promised me that he would be on his best behavior. I said no. They begged. I said no. They asked if there was anything they could do to convince me to go. I said that if they gave me $1,000 each that I would return if he left me alone. They said no. I said good day. They came back with $2,000 in an envelope. I was at the wedding venue with my wife talking to my parents when my brother arrived. He came right over and called me a slur for a homosexual. My dad's head just dropped. I took my wife's hand and we went out for a night paid for by my parents and sister. We were already dressed up, so we had a fancy night out with our phones off. My parents and sister are furious at my brother. He is mad because my dad told them that he is a child that can't control himself. My brother is mad at me for being a baby and not being able to take a joke. I really don't care. $2,000 isn't babble out of money, but it is enough to sting. Now maybe they will listen when I say I do not want to be around him. My mom, however, is mad at me for taking the money. She seems to think I was being paid to out up with his abuse. I have tried explaining that it was more of a bond on his behavior. She won't listen. AITA for taking the money and leaving. AITA for telling my mama she didn't want kids and she's not getting a huge Mother's Day celebration. Growing up, my dad stayed at home while my mom worked. While my mom financially provided for my sister and myself, she was emotionally hands-off. She came to a ballet recital here and there, but didn't want to help with homework, didn't want to listen when we needed advice, etc. Our dad did 95% of the emotional labor. I later found out from my mom that my dad was the one who wanted kids. She loved her career and didn't mind providing financially, but she did not want to do any of the stuff related to raising us outside of that. I am very grateful she provided for us financially, but I do admit it hurts that she wasn't there when we needed her. She was physically present, but not emotionally present. Edit, as this has come up, to be clear, the arrangement was my mother's idea, not my father's. That being said, I do agree that my father was equally as selfish for making this arrangement. My dad always did grand gestures for her. Mother's Day was always a big deal with a huge brunch, flowers, gifts. She was spoiled. She did nothing for him on Father's Day. He had to do everything for himself until my sister and I were old enough to do stuff for him. I get that was the arrangement they had, but I know it made my dad sad. I once asked why he didn't get the same hoopla our mom got, and he just sadly said Father's Day isn't as important as Mother's Day. As adults, my sister and I have tried to rectify it. We do Father's Day up big and our dad loves it. We grill for him just how he taught us and throw a huge BBQ with some other family members. However, we've turned Mother's Day very local. We still celebrate our mom, but she usually gets a quiet lunch at a restaurant of her choice and a few gifts. After my mom ended up skipping my sister's baby shower this year because she didn't see the big deal with someone having a baby, my sister wanted to do nothing for her. We sent gifts, but spent Mother's Day with each other, our husbands and our own kids. My mom told us after Father's Day that she was hurt we didn't do more for her in recent years. I said that since she put in almost no emotional labor into raising us, we are putting none into her. She said that our father and I had an agreement. I pointed out that yes, but we never agreed to it, and it wasn't fair that we grew up with an emotionally absent mother who didn't want us. And to be fair, we have had this conversation with our dad as well, and he admits it wasn't fair to us either. I also said if she didn't want kids, then why should she be celebrated as a mom? My mom is upset with both of us and called us ungrateful brats. My dad feels bad for her, but supports our choice. Edit to those asking how I feel if my dad were the one that acted like this, how I feel about dads who do this in general. They suck just as much, and it's not fair to the kids, regardless of whatever agreement spouses come to. This is not gender specific. While some people may have a gender bias, I do not. Top comments even disregarding how you all were raised and your parents' agreement about that. You're adults now and your mom is still not giving either of you any care. She can't be bothered to attend her daughter's baby shower but thinks you all should make a fuss over her for Mother's Day. Nope, not how that works. I would give her as much energy as she gives you, which would free up a lot of your time, money, and energy. NTA. UP's response, this is the real issue we have. We were willing to continue to celebrate her in recent years as we hope we could develop a bond as we are non-longer kids. We don't need raising, etc. But no, she wants very little to do with us year-round until Mother's Day. Comment, NTI, I'm so sorry. You can afford it. Therapy may help. It is best for childhood trauma so that you don't bring it into your adult relationships and your relationships with your children. When I was reading this, I was asking myself if someone switched the genders of the parents and their positions. I swear I read this about dad, mom, and the dad was the one who was emotionally distant and people thought that was normal, blah, blah, blah. UP's response, to be fair, this story isn't unique with the genders reversed. I knew many growing up in our shoes, but it was the dad who was emotionally absent but the financial provider while mom did the emotional labor. Comment, how did she reply when you pointed out she wasn't there for you and made it clear she didn't want you? I suggest you ask her seriously why she expects anything from you when she hasn't returned the favor and even skipped your sister's baby shower. Up's response, she said that this was the arrangement she made with our dad, which is her go-to when we express our resentment.